Today on the SmileTuT Show, we discuss the Elder Scrolls 6. What's it about? What all do we know so far? And when will it be coming out? Also, a Pokemon addict had stolen cards from the McDonald's he worked at. And what would I think about a Lego Battle Royale? All that and more today on the SmileTuT Show. Welcome back to the SmileTuT Show. I'm so glad you could have come here for the premiere, or if you're tuning in later, that is perfectly fine. I am just glad to have you hanging out here with me today. Anywho, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into the news now. So if you guys don't know, I am a huge fan of the Bethesda game titles, that being Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, all of that. And yes, you could say, well, Fallout wasn't originally a Bethesda title. That is true. I didn't get to try out the first two. Anywho, I am here today to talk to you guys about the newest line in Elder Scrolls, that being Elder Scrolls 6, and the leaks and ideas and concept art that has been coming out so far, and my thoughts on it, because I am super excited about this coming out, and I decided to discuss it here with you guys today. Without further ado, let me go ahead and get into it. Now, this is going to all be some pretty old news, as the newest information we had was from a year ago, that I've found at least, and I have been heavily invested in all of this, so I'm not certain how far everything in here is going to go, but you get my point. Basically, from what we know, this setting will be in Hammerfell, which is part of the land of Tamriel. Now, not many people know much about Skyrim or Skyrim lore because, well, honestly, MatPat went to FNAF, but if he went to Skyrim, he would have a lot more content, just saying. So basically put, I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible for people to understand. Hammerfell is where the Redguard people live, basically. Mainly the Redguards. In Skyrim, there was a hammer that was thrown, and where it landed was where the Redguards decided to live, which was the land of Hammerfell. Now, if I recall, it was meant to be a lot more of a pirate group of people, so I would expect to see a lot more piratey references, maybe some pirate ship battles, or something of the sort, and a lot of cool stuff like that. But the big thing here, and this is something that has really racked my brain ever since I heard it's going to be in Hammerfell. There are some major implications here, because we don't know what's canon in Skyrim, obviously. Now, from what we know, everything that is done in a game from Elder Scrolls 4 and before was canon. Whatever the ending of the, say, Thieves Guild in TES 4 would be, would have had happened in TES 5, if not by the main character, by someone else. So, for instance, I would expect TES 6, the Dark Brotherhood questline, where the Emperor of the Empire was killed, that would be canon. I would expect that to probably happen, if not by the Dragonborn, by someone else. That is what I would expect. But where it comes to be a problem is where we have the Civil War questline, where there's two factions that have radically different endings that would mean so much more difference in the future of Tamriel. Because the endings basically lead to either the leader of the rebellion in Skyrim, Ulfric Stormcloak, being basically eliminated, and the Empire is building their troops back up to fight the Thalmor, that being the High Elves, again. Or it would be basically the Stormcloaks going and fighting the Thalmor on their own. And that comes with a bunch more questions. I mean, knowing that Hammerfell is one of the few provinces that are in a neutral territory, I find it rather smart to use that one as a lead-up, showing an outsider looking in to what the war may be. I mean, we don't know what time frame this is in. This could be before TES 5, so none of this may matter. But it could still be in the Civil War time frame, for all we know. It could be just before the Civil War. It could be that the Thalmor have taken over everywhere and are trying to get into Hammerfell now. Or it could be that the Stormcloaks have taken over the Thalmor, destroyed all the Thalmor, and High Elves are a minority, and refugees are flooding into Hammerfell. Or the Empire may have won and brought peace by putting most of the Thalmor into chains or executing them. There are many pathlines that could take, but because we are in Hammerfell, a place that doesn't really have any side on this battle, we are like the outsiders looking in, and I find that a perfect story building template, because that is the one issue that has been racking my mind since we heard about TES 6. And from what we knew, we thought it was going to be in High Rock, but it isn't. So that's basically all we have. I will go ahead and play the trailer for you guys, and then I will continue on with my 5 headlines, but we don't have much to work off of. I have been super excited for this game since I heard it was coming out, and I wanted to make a video where I could just discuss everything about it. So let's go ahead and roll the tape and move on to our major headlines. I'm going to go ahead and apologize that you didn't get any of the audio from that trailer because, well, it was copyrighted. My bad, guys, but you get the point. Anywho, so let's go ahead and get into the top 5 headlines for today now, shall we? So, the first headline, obviously, is about a McDonald's employee getting arrested for stealing Pokemon cards. Forgive me for my lack of a straight face, this story is actually crazy. I would have believed it if it was in Florida, but no, this is in Arizona. A man had got caught running a red light and a few stop signs, right? So the police had pulled him over and said, "What's going on?" He literally came clean. He didn't lie and say anything about it and could have just got off with a ticket. Basically what happened was, he said, "Look, I got these Pokemon cards. I stole them from the McDonald's I work at." And I thought he was just a Pokemon addict at first, if you know what I mean. Because, like, well, simply put, I wouldn't think of anyone stealing Pokemon cards for any other reason. I mean, you're at a McDonald's. There's many, many better things you could be taking. But apparently, he was going to make a few grand selling them to a buddy. I kid you not. Sometimes fact is crazier than fiction. This man was gonna be sold a few $1,000s for the cards that he had taken. So he was charged with theft and trafficking stolen property due to the fact that the officer had found this out. And he's serving time already. The article doesn't tell me how much time, and I think that would probably be because of the best. I mean, let's just say he's not going to have a good time in bars if he is one to enjoy Pokemon as well. This was just a crazy story I found, and I was like, yeah, this is going on the headlines. This is a top headline. Anywho, the next headline has to do with Twitch yet again. Why on earth is Twitch losing so many viewers? Not viewers, but creators. Just now, another person has left by the name of Fusely, I believe is the way to say it. Basically, the article is talking about how Twitch streamers, including Ludwig, Dr. Disrespect, and Tim the Tatman, have made a jump to YouTube gaming in an effort to find a new audience so that way they can have a better reach. Basically, people are leaving Twitch constantly. And people are always like, well, what is it with Twitch? Why is everybody leaving Twitch? And let me tell you why. They aren't making the money they used to. Let me give you a few reasons why, right here and right now. One, inflation. Obvious point, inflation. But two, the money they are making on Twitch has been lowered to where they can make more money doing the same stuff on YouTube. People get mad at me for butt kissing to YouTube every once in a while, and I'm not butt kissing. I will tell them when they do something wrong. I mean, my next story is going to be me telling them off for something, but you get the point. They need to fix their business model. Otherwise, they're going to be what I call the third party, the one I use just to add another streaming service to my collection. When I start doing a huge amount of streaming, I'm going to have multi-stream, where I stream on everything I can possibly stream on. Why do you think I do that? So that way I can have a huge audience that's all watching me at once on any platform. Be it TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I'm hitting the whole 9 yards. Does that make sense? That's all Twitch is anymore, is one of those extras because they're not making any more money on it. And if I start making money on Twitch, I'm going to take it because I know I can. And it would just be extra cash flow coming to me. It's something I could live without, sure. But it'd be nice to have. And I think that's what people are starting to see with Twitch. It's not being that dominant gaming force anymore. It's becoming, quite frankly, OnlyFans. Next up in the news, we have a huge issue going on with YouTube. Now, some people were in my Instagram like, Smile, aren't you going to talk about this? I was going to leave it for the SmileTuT show because of how big and impactful this has been. So, basically put, a lot of the bigger name YouTubers, including Corey X Kinchin, Markiplier, Optimus, and more, have been coming out talking about issues with YouTube. If you haven't seen Corey's video that started it all, he basically came out with a possible allegation that YouTube was racist. Now, he did not say straight up they were racist. He was very respectful in that way. And he was basically saying that because a video that Markiplier had made didn't get, I guess demonetized, but his did, or age restricted or whatever, and it had the exact same spot, like the exact same clip, cutscene thing, they were basically being favoritism towards Markiplier rather than Corey. That's the basic of everything. And they're saying that there's always a lot of white people on the YouTube homepage, which I personally have not had that experience. In fact, I have had the opposite. I see a lot of the African American side of YouTube on my For You page. And I'm not saying that because it's a bad thing and I'm a racist bad person. No, I'm saying that because I may just be an outlier. I mean, I do watch a lot of Corey, a lot of some of his friends' videos that do YouTube. I watch quite a bit of, general African American content. I never noticed that until we started bringing it up. I honestly hadn't even noticed. I just watch content creators I like. And it just so happens to be that quite a few of them are not white. So, I guess that could be what it is. I don't know, personally. But, anywho, to come back to the point, it went from that to Jacksepticeye coming out making a statement, and then Optimus was going through the entire thing. He has been my #1 favorite YouTuber since I started watching him. He has been the biggest inspiration for my channel, the biggest inspiration for me, and someone who kind of led me in to the YouTube commentary sphere. It was because of him that we have these videos today. Smile videos are out now because I watched and looked up to Optimus. Even though he told me not to, in his own videos, I did. I loved what he did. I loved how he worked. And that's something I want to do. And that's how we made it here. Well, Optimus had came out talking about something. And this, I gotta give him props. Like, he did very well with this one. He basically spoke about how another YouTuber, a very small YouTuber compared to him, had talked about a similar issue he had, that being the Devious Lick Challenge. And, simply put, because he was a smaller creator, he got a strike on his channel. Now, if you get 3 of those within a select amount of time, your channel's gone. If I was to get 3 strikes right now, out of nowhere, my channel would be deleted and you'd have no more Smile on YouTube. You'd have to go and check me out on any of the other websites I use. And that's why I use the other websites. I mean, they don't get much traction. So that's kind of why I have them, is a pivot point. And I know it won't be as good business-like, but hey. Anywho, as you can clearly see, Optimus came out and spoke up on behalf of this smaller creator. And that's something I gotta give a huge kudo, big thumbs up, big love to you, man. Thank you for standing up for him. Thank you for doing that, because we need more bigger creators doing that kind of stuff. I am a smaller YouTuber, a smaller creator as of right now. I just got monetized not a few weeks ago. So I have been working my hardest to grow my own brand, and I don't need to worry about saying something that a bigger creator said, getting me a strike. Because once I get a strike, I'm going to be freaking out. That means I might not even have a channel if it gets too far. So, I thank God for people like Optimus out here helping out the little man. And hopefully I can grow to become the size of Optimus and do the same thing. Now, I'm not talking no millions, but maybe a few 100K. And you get my point. So, the real question here is, what's YouTube going to do about it? I've been watching YouTube's Twitter. I've been looking around everywhere for any statement, anything, telling us what they're doing about this stuff. And they haven't came out with anything. They need to come out with something soon. Because the unrest going around here is all pointed at them. All of it is pointed at them. I'm mad at YouTube for this. A lot of people are mad at YouTube for this because it's unwarranted and shouldn't have happened in the first place. But it did. So YouTube needs to come out, admit they're wrong, say, I'm sorry guys, we made a mistake. Let's work on fixing this algorithm. It wasn't done in person. And if it was done in person, that person will either be fired or will figure out what to do. You know what I mean? Figure out what to do with all of this issue. That would be the responsible thing to do. And when they come out with something, that will be one of my 9 o'clock videos. I will talk about it, because I should. As someone who makes commentary videos, it is my job to tell you guys about this stuff. Anywho, with all that being said, let's get into the next story. Now, you all know I've talked about multiverses quite a bit. I have praised it to basically the moon and back. And they've said they're coming out with the next patch, which will be the biggest yet, and that worries me. I don't know how far they're going with this at all. I don't know what all is going to be in it. There have been leaks saying that someone off of the Gremlins will be in this one. Obviously, we talked about that before. They're talking about bringing in a Gremlins character, which is fine. Like I said, I like having those old characters, but how many people know that old character? That's the one thing that worries me, is the traction that character will lead. But either way, I'm just glad to see that they are continuing to work, continuing to put in the effort. But how big is this new update? What issues will that cause? I prefer it, personally. I don't know if I speak for everyone in Multiverses here. But I prefer it if you bring out 1 or 2 characters at a time. And slowly progress. Instead of bringing out 10, 20, even 5 characters. I prefer it 1 or 2 at a time. The reason is the balancing. If you bring out 20, 30 characters, then you're going to have to balance all of them at the same time, or else you're going to have some overpowered and super weak characters in there. So I prefer if you don't go with the big aspirations on this one. I know it's easy to do. I know I would want to do it. But I feel like they should bring in some restraint. Because if they don't, they could go down the hill of Nickelodeon Brawl Stars and things of that nature. Anywho, with all that being said, I want to add in a few little announcements on my side. Chicken Bro Prime memberships are live. For $5 a month, you get a lot of stuff and one-on-one DMs with yours truly. That's right. For $5 a month, you can even talk to me. We can hang out. You can give me some easy requests that way for a video. You get your name shouted out on all of my servers, that being the Minecraft server soon to come, the Fortnite server, which is currently my biggest project, and the Ark server. I will be having a stream every single Friday on the Fortnite, Minecraft, or Ark server. So if you want to join up on that, then be sure to come by at Friday at, I'm going to say, 9 to 10. 9 to 10 or 9 to 11 I'll be playing and streaming with you guys on Fridays. I will be streaming daily 9 to 11 as well, so don't forget to check all that out. Hope you guys will. I hope you will check out the Chicken Bro Prime memberships. There's a lot more to it than what I've stated here. But for obvious reasons, it'd be best if you go and check it out in the iCard above, or check it out on the square into this video. With that being said, let's get into my opinion piece. So I put a poll up earlier whenever I had one of those random thoughts you get. I thought LEGO has been making a lot of decent quality video games. Not the best, not the worst. They're fun for what they are. But then I had a thought that just hit me like a truck. What if there was a LEGO Battle Royal? And most people out of the 5 votes were like, I don't really care. Let me see what people said. Out of the 5 votes, I'm sure only 1 or 2 said yes. From the looks of things, more people said no than yes, but I think the majority said, I don't know, or I don't care, and let me see the results. But basically put, what it is, I had that thought because they have everything they need right now. I mean, imagine making some sort of building version within their thing like you have on Fortnite. Their customization would be super easy because what is LEGO? But you have the customizable features everywhere. You could get some decent Battle Royal, Battle Pass kind of heads, bodies, everything. And then the weapons are already set up. So, looking at it from that perspective, they have everything they need. Now, while people said no, I still wanted to talk about this because I'm thinking about pitching this to LEGO. If it's possible. I don't know how possible it is. But just think about it a moment. This could be a huge moneymaker for them. And if I was like, hey, LEGO, you do this, but I want 20%. I want 20% of the profit now. Or maybe 10. Who knows? Just a little bit. If I get that little bit, and this thing blows up as big as I know it can, you already know I'm going to be making big bank. I mean, that'd be crazy. But looking at it from this here perspective of what it could be, it's just too good in my opinion. And the things they're going to need is a creative mode like Fortnite. I'm not saying copy Fortnite now, but make a creative like mode in it. Like the LEGO Worlds aspect. And on top of everything, you made the LEGO movie out of Legos itself. I know you have the people with the creativity to make LEGO Worlds. I mean, Heck, look at Rugged Eagle, a Lego video game creator that I know about because reasons. And he talked about how the newer games felt too much of an open world and too little like a Lego game. If you make this into a live service thing, it would blow up. How many adults are still heavily into Lego? How many how many children love Lego? I mean, think about it for a moment. Putting a license like that with a battle royal on a business aspect is amazing. On almost every conceivable aspect, if they were to nail it, would be amazing. So I am seriously considering trying to pitch it to them, see what they think for a slice of the profit. Hopefully it'll work. If not, I don't know. But I want at least some of the profit here. Because, I came up with the idea. I came up with a lot of it. I need some payment off of this. Just saying. Too big of an idea. But you get the point. And you may be like, well, Smile, what characters could they even use? Not many people know about the Lego Chia. Was it Chia? Zaya? Something. Some sort of lion characters. And gorillas and stuff. You could put those in there. You could put Lego Ninjago. I'm sure you could put in the other licenses like Lego DC Supervillains. I mean, the roster is already huge with Indiana Jones, if you could use those licenses. Star Wars. I mean, hundreds upon hundreds of things. And you already have in-game currency to boot. You got the studs. So imagine if you had like a free store where you can get some certain common, uncommon, or rare sort of cosmetics from studs that would be placed around the map. And then you could have the microtransactions, which I know people hate the microtransactions, but it's how you keep a live service game running. When I'm going to make a live service game, if I do, I want it to have a decent amount of microtransactions. Because it would be a one-man or a small business band. And I would have to have the money to keep it running. So, Lego, in turn, would want that as well. And I just see it so well in my head. Like, I don't know how they haven't thought of this yet, but putting those two things together, instant, awesome game. Game I would stream, without a shadow of a doubt. Something I hope they do. And if they do take my advice, I hope they make a character based off of my YouTube profile pic. That'd be amazing. You see my point, though? There's just too much that could go well there. And then, even if they took me up on my offer, I could just as well be like, hey, Lego, I'll go ahead and make a streaming deal with you. I'll stream your game. To give you better publicity. You keep building up my channel, I build up your game. Boom. You see how awesome this would be? Like, it can help me out, yes, but forget about me a moment. The idea of the game itself just works too freaking well. I know I'm having a weird hyper kind of sugar rush here talking about it, but there's so many ideas I could throw at the wall for this, and I hope they take advantage of. Because they're Lego games, Lego DC Supervillains, that's more of a kid's game. Everyone thinks of it as a kid's game. I play it because I generally enjoy Lego content. Not the biggest Lego fan, but it's considered a children's game. We all consider it that. A battle royal made of Lego would be different. I mean, you got adults playing Fortnite. Good streaming content. Good content all around the board. If they do this and run that business right, instant win. I can't see any problems they could have if they could put it together right. And they've proven they can. They have, heck, look at Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars. They have the scripts and animations already for almost every weapon they can have in Lego that they can just script out. Like, just strip out the scripts from that, put it in there, strip out the character customization portal they have in any of the games. Heck, you can make DLC packs where it resembles any game. So you can have your character customization look like Indiana Jones, the original adventures, or so much more. It works so well, and I hope they take advantage. But with all that being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful time watching this, and Yo Man Smile is over and out. Peace.